it's Ron. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, it's been a while, hasn't it? Well, I'm back on. I got a little stack of vinyl to show. Most of it, I picked up, it's just pretty much the same story as always. Stuff I picked up out in the wild. I think the majority of it's used. I got some good deals on some stuff, so pretty cool stuff too. So it's going to be kind of a mixture of all eras, and might as well get started. I'll start off with a couple of 10-inch records that I picked up. And this first one is, it's like an exact reproduction of a very rare record that came out in South America in 1957. And it's called Janis and Elvis. And I guess this is a pretty famous record amongst Elvis collectors, but I had never heard of it before. And so it originally came out as a 10-inch in '57. It was on the shelf for 2 days, and Colonel Tom Parker had a fit because Janis got top billing over Elvis on the record. He did not like that, so it was withdrawn. It was never reissued with a different cover or anything like that. So originals are quite rare, quite valuable. They can go for thousands of dollars in near mint condition. So this is a 1985 French reissue, legitimate. There is an earlier bootleg that came out of Europe, I believe, in '82. But this one is legitimate. They're quite common on Discogs, and they run about 15 bucks. So I mean, if you want one, you can get one. The cool thing about it is, instead of having like one side Janis and another side Elvis, they alternate. So it's Elvis, Janis, Elvis, Janis. It's pretty cool. It's got what is it? 9 songs on here, and yeah, really, really cool. So there's the titles. Very interesting record. It sounded really good. They reproduced the original label design. Kind of an early, odd RCA label. So cool. This other one I got, this came out on Record Store Day last year, and it was a limited edition of 3,000 copies. Originally they were like $27 new, and the reason I know that, this had the original receipt stuck in it. And I was looking at the guy's frequent buyer points for the store. He had nearly 1,600 points. That's insane. That's like $800 in store credit that guy had built up. Man, I wish I had those kind of points. But so that was in here. So yeah, it was like 27 bucks new. I got this, on sale, a fraction of that. I had some points. it was on sale. I got all kinds of discounts and stuff. So I got it really cheap. And it's near mint too. It's Shocking Blue singles. Shocking Blue at Home, the singles. So it's got A's and B sides of 4 singles. This is put out by Music on Vinyl in Europe, and you know how top quality that label is. I got number 2,663 out of 3,000. And instead of being on Shocking Blue vinyl, it is on Shocking Pink vinyl, which is cool, they kind of stepped out of the box and did something other than what you might expect it to be. This is just so good. This is so good stuff. I really love, my favorite tracks on here, of course, Venus. I mean, that's an all-time classic. Send Me a Postcard is rocking. That's really cool. The B-side of Venus, Hot Sand, excellent. And that was a non-album track, by the way. So yeah, this is good stuff. So there's the tracks. So cool. This came out like 15 years ago. 15 years ago, and I'm not really kind of a later Byrds fan. You know, I like their prime stuff. You know, before the band changed. You know. But this just blew me away. This is stellar. It really, really is. And if you don't have it, you're a Byrds fan, you need to get this. It's the Byrds live at the Royal Albert Hall, 1971. Man, the sound on this and just the atmosphere of the concert, it's just magical. I was so impressed with this. So it comes with this nice gatefold cover, and let's see if I can get, sorry about the glare, if I get the set list on there for you. Yeah, there's a lot of cool tracks on there, man. Just excellent. Came out on black vinyl. I imagine this is original pressing. So yeah, been out for 15 years and I've been missing out. Amazing. Okay. This next one is another Record Store Day issue. And it came out a few years ago. I believe they made a lot of them. Let's see. Yeah, I can't remember the pressing count, but you know, I know it was thousands. Oh, it's on here. Okay, I got number 251 of 12,000. And it's the Doors Soft Parade stripped. So it's tracks from the Doors Soft Parade album without any orchestrations. And I have mixed feelings of this. I mean, it was great they issued it, but it should have been the whole album instead of just, you know, certain tracks. So side one, it's a total of 8 tracks. Side one is all just stripped down Doors, and I prefer it that way. I'm not a fan of the orchestration that they did on that. But and then the other side is the Doors only mixes, but it has new Robbie Krieger overdubs on it. And some of the songs are doubled up, so it's not like 8 different songs. But they put it in this hideous PVC sleeve that we totally hate. I don't know what they were thinking, just cost cutting maybe, I don't know. And then it comes with this insert. You've probably already seen this when it come out, but for those of you who haven't, I'm showing it. And then I went ahead and stuck it, got this plain white cover to keep the vinyl in. It's on clear photo label and track set label on the other side. So yeah, this is really cool. Sounded awesome. I guess they're supposed to come out with, I heard they were coming out with another live Doors recording early from Live at the Matrix Club in San Francisco. But I haven't heard anything real recently about it, but I heard that is supposed to be coming out. Okay, let's show some old vinyl now. Now this one, I picked up mainly just because the cover was incredible condition. And it's the first Grateful Dead, and this is a US mono. Just an excellent cover. Clean, hardly no wear, great seams and spine. I mean, you just never see this in mono in the wild, unfortunately. Here it comes, folks. Unfortunately, the vinyl is whipped. It's on the gold, Warner Brothers. But yeah, it was cheap, and I could not leave it, because I know how hard it is to get a nice cover, so excellent. And then I picked up Lee Stevens' Red Weather. This is an original US copy. And this has been on my want list since the 80s. You just never ever see them in the wild around this area. And I finally got a pretty nice copy of it, you know, nice VG Plus vinyl. And this came out in '69 after Lee had left Blue Cheer. Which is, I think, I kind of wish he hadn't left, but he did, you know, did it. But they did get Randy Holden, and he was awesome guitarist too. So this is actually a white label promo copy that I got. So cool. More people want the stock copy, but you know, promo is cool. I imagine they're actually less made. A lot of people don't like this. You got to be a Blue Cheer fan to really appreciate it, I think. The opening track, Another Dose of Life, that's really good. And then the closing track on side 1, I Grow Higher. That's just kind of really weird weirdness. That's a good. But yeah, great vocal. Very cool. So it's kind of spotty, but overall I do like it. I like it more than I dislike it, let's just say that. So yeah, really glad to have gotten that. Now this one I picked up in the Antique Mall, and I got a really good price on it. I can't remember how much it was, maybe 15-ish or something. It's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' debut album. And it is a first pressing on the hard to find solid color label. So I've never seen one of these before. Of course, I don't look at Tom Petty albums anymore too much, but yeah, I couldn't leave this bad boy behind. And I didn't have this album. I had a second one, but not this one. Oh, and it comes with the insert, which is pretty, you know, pretty cool and a little bit difficult to come by too. Yeah, I'm getting some weird shadow on that screen. I don't know what's up with that. Alright. Here's another one from the 70s, and it's Rare Earth Ecology. And it's in the shrink, and it's got the hype sticker with it. Cool. This has got I Know I'm Losing You, and it also has Born to Wonder. Both of those tracks were hits, I believe. I know, I think Born to Wonder was a hit. So yeah, nice. Rare Earth label. Cheap album. Had to grab it. Okay, now I'm going to show some new wave stuff that I used to have back in the 80s. And now this one I just bought. And I used to be really big into the Talking Heads in the 80s. I mean, I had tons of 45s and albums. I collected everything that I could find on them. And then towards the late 80s, I kind of lost interest and I sold everything. And so this album I had not heard in like 35 years, over 30 years, 35 years. My opinion is I don't like it as much as I used to. it's not, to me it's not, the guitar is too thin, it's not heavy enough. I think if they beefed it up a little more, made it a little bit heavier sound, a little bit more raw, I probably would like it a lot more. And it's the second album by the Talking Heads. I mean, yeah, I listened to it yesterday for the first time in over 30 years, and I found side 1 okay. Side 2 I liked a lot better. I know some of you people are like saying, what is this guy talking about? I don't know, man. It just didn't do much for me. But I would like to have the first 2 albums again. After that, they got more progressive. And I mean, it's not bad, but I could take it or leave it. I'm just not going to go crazy and start buying a bunch of Talking Heads again. It's just not going to happen. But I'm glad that I did pick this one up again. So yeah, I don't have the first one. So that one's, I could get one. I mean, they're all over the place. I'll get one. It's no problem. Gary Newman, The Pleasure Principle. This is another one, another guy I used to be into big time in the 80s. I didn't have everything by Gary, but I did have the earlier ones. Psychedelic Furs, Forever Now. This one I did not have. I remember the big hit. And I had not, when I heard the song, I remembered it, and the only thing I can remember is, where did I hear that song? I think I heard it on MTV. And it's the debut album by the Violent Femmes. This is an original US copy. It's not the very first pressing with the custom label, but it's an early second pressing. This is a 5-star classic, just amazing, incredible album. It's kind of hard to describe. It's kind of got a stripped down, almost Modern Lovers vibe to it, mixed with sort of folky garage. Some of it's very childlike lyrics, and other lyrics is more adult. It's really unusual album. It's so good. It's on Slash label. So the big hit was Blister in the Sun, and yeah, I remember that right off the bat. And the rest of it, you know, I'd never heard. But yeah, it's amazing that something like this slipped by me in the 80s, because me and my buddy, we were all into this stuff back then. And I guess it slipped by both of us, because man, what a good album. And even like a second press like this, they're going for a lot of money. I mean, you get a first pressing near mint, and it's going to be over $100. So I mean, this is not a cheap album anymore. All right, got a couple more Ramones albums, OGs, US OGs. Road to Ruin. I really think, no, I've not heard all the Ramones, but I really think that this is probably going to be my favorite album. I absolutely love this album. I connected with it immediately upon the first time I heard it. And yeah, this is a pretty nice copy. It does have a little bit of orange ink mixed in with the word Ramones, but other than that, it's in pretty nice shape. And it's got the original inner sleeve. And got Ramones Too Tough to Die. This is a US OG copy. And And this is the inner sleeve with the lyrics. So really starting to fill out my Ramones collection now. I probably definitely want everything up until Too Tough to Die. This was kind of their last album where, you know, they were pretty strong. And then I guess after this, they kind of lost some steam, but still a great band. So glad to get that. And then I got The Cure Pornography. This is a reissue from a few years ago. 180 gram black vinyl. Comes with the inner. So I never had this one in the 80s, but I do remember I had a live tape that had a lot of this on it, and I especially remembered the Hanging Garden. That's on here. This is darker Cure, more rockin' Cure compared to some of their stuff. So I saw it in the bin for used, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna like go crazy with the Cure. I was never that big of a fan, but I like them now more probably than I did back then. So yeah, good album.